I'm so glad to see all your faces this morning. Do we have anybody new that wishes to be recognized? Hi! So glad you're here with us this morning. Welcome. Special welcome to you. How about an invocation? Are you willing to pray with me this morning? Yes! All right. Let's have a little bit of prayer. So here now in this place, this time, I know that God simply is, Spirit simply is, right here, right now in this place. Spirit is in this place. And I know that we are all here by divine appointment. I know that this service is divinely blessed. And I am so deeply grateful. I'm grateful for this time. I am grateful for everyone here. And I am just so deeply grateful for Center for Spiritual Living Parker. I know that we are a bright light in this world. So I just say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. And ground this with me by saying, and so it is. How about Shirley with some announcements?
I can't believe it, it's my turn already. I love doing announcements, folks. First announcement, I just wanted to remind everyone that next week we are still going to be having a recorded service, okay? But beginning September, it's going to be full-time in-person services, so that should be pretty enjoyable. A round of applause, yay! I actually have 3 wonderful announcements for everyone. I can't believe it. Next week, it's the pool party. Any one of you didn't bring out those swimsuits yet? Well, this is your last opportunity. Before the summer's over, take it out. Let's have fun. Come on, community. Just come join your family and let's have a nice pool party, okay? Marie, you're joining, aren't you? You're going to put on that nice swimsuit, right? Yeah, we're so excited. Okay, just make sure, again, it's next Saturday from 1 to 4. Be sure to RSVP to Heather if you want to join, all right? Second announcement. So now this one is dear to my heart. Guys, it is our very important first annual Holistic Expo. Please mark your calendars. Remember the date. You can't remember. You cannot forget 9/11, right? 9/12 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I do need full participation from each and every one of you. I'm going to be taking attendance. So please, we want you to be there. This is our first outreach to show the world what CSL Parker is all about, guys. Come on. I need your energy over there. 2 days in a row. It's going to be fun. We got all kinds of services. We got readers if you want to have Reiki or get introduced to all kinds of stuff. You know, what do we have here? We have some chiropractors. We have, we also have a children's area in here. We're going to have our practitioners showing up. So we are also needing volunteers, right, Kim? Volunteers to man the welcome table, bringing your beautiful faces, smiling faces to show the world what beautiful CSL Parker we are. And now my last announcement, this is also new for CSL Parker. We're going to be having our first Teens Recognition Award. So there's going to be giveaways. We're giving 6 scholarships in the amount of $200 for all. I mean, we need juniors and senior kids from the Douglas County to apply. And all you need to do is you gotta just have to describe how is Harry Potter represented? Can you describe Harry Potter within you? So that's all you need to do. It's very simple, $200. A giveaway. It's going to be fun. Again, deadline for submission is October 1st. Yay, Colleen is here. Yay! Let's welcome Colleen. Yay. So that is pretty much the last of my announcement, guys. I am complete. And one more thing, Kim just reminded me, so if you needed more of these cards, it's back there. And also, please sign up, volunteer. I need volunteers, please. Yes. Yes, who's going to volunteer right now from this audience? Reverend Stephanie, aren't you just wonderful? There's more, come on. Yay, Kim is volunteering. Who else is volunteering? Wonderful. Okay, there you go, Vic is volunteering. So, thank you so much, I'm complete.
So I invite you to gently close your eyes. Taking a deep breath and just settle into your chair. Let that chair surround you. Let it support you. And just imagine this beautiful light surrounding you. This beautiful light just vibrates. It surrounds you, it is in you, it is through you, it emanates from you. And now just imagine this beautiful light directing you within. And it directs you to this seed that's just sitting there. It's just resting within the center of you. And as the light surrounds this seed, and you take notice of it, it just vibrates and it expands. And it tells you, here I am. And that seed is the seed of perfection. It's a seed of divine wisdom that was planted within you when you were born. And that fact that you have noticed it and recognized it and are listening to it just helps you to connect with it. It is a part of you. You are a part of it. There is no separation between you and the seed, that divine wisdom that rests within you. Surround it with your love. Acknowledge it. Know that it is the divine within you. It's the higher self within you. That self with a capital S. And just surround it with your love and just acknowledge that it is there, just waiting to guide you, to serve you, to help you. And so I invite you to come back to this space. And as you ever so gently open your eyes, just remember that that wisdom, that guidance is always within you. Wherever you are, it is, and all is well.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God so good to me. Always. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God so good to me.
And so our reading for today is from Reverend Dr. Gail Stewart and Reverend Jane Beach, and it's from the Signs of Mind magazine, the daily readings. It's a combined reading. Title is My Soul's Map. I love maps. I love to pore over a map of the area where I find myself, finding my location and getting my bearings. Maps bring out my inner adventurer. I never feel lost when I can find my location on a map. With a global positioning system, GPS, on nearly every device, it's difficult to get lost anymore. We can even program our GPS to speak to us in our preferred male or female voice as we travel along. Mine is one with a British accent. So. It's comforting to know that we can't get lost at the soul level either, because we have a spiritual GPS, one that is far more reliable than any electronic gadget. Being a part of the whole means we are always accompanied and guided by our inner guide when we let it guide us. Let's focus on that last part, when we let it guide us. Our inner GPS doesn't squawk when we make a wrong turn. It will quietly nudge or speak to us to get us back on track. But more often than not, we pay it no mind. Sooner or later, however, we become aware and let it lead us home. We can't be separate from the voice of our own inner wisdom. It's impossible. We are spiritual beings, created from the peace, power, and presence of the greatest love of all. It lives and moves through us, bringing its presence to the world in a way that expresses as us. It's not just available to us, it invites a connection that is ongoing and personal. When we're willing to avail ourselves to the message, we will sense it, know that it's true, and follow the lead of the divine. And the affirmation is, I make space to hear the message, the gift of divine wisdom, the whisper of truth, the beauty of who I am. Then I know what to do.
Good morning. Phil's back there going like this. Just want to make sure you can hear her back there. Phil, you got to go there. So I wanted to share a little bit this morning. I just got back from spending a week in Florida. When I think about an inner GPS system, I think sometimes about what I do for work, and probably a lot of you don't know what I do. When I am not here, a lot of times I'm in another state, and I'm either setting up or finishing up, helping them identify their waste streams. So it could be in Florida, it could be in Arizona, in the end of June, the heat, or it could be in Sarasota, Florida, in record temperatures, or it could be in Greensboro, North Carolina, or it could be in Denver, Colorado. Wherever it is, my job is to help them identify what their waste streams are, how they're doing in their recycling, what they can do better, and how to generate more of it. So I go into these communities, and the way I do that work is I actually, with a team of people who I've never met before, we sort through someone's trash, or a bunch of people's trash. And the people that are there because they're generally day laborers who want to get paid at the end of the day. They're not driven to do this environmental good thing. But my job, my role in this is to encourage them, empower them, and keep them there all week. And it stinks, and it's hot. But we feed them. We feed them lunch. We don't let them leave during the day. We feed them good and we treat them nice and we're kind to them. And I play music the whole time we're sorting. And I ask them, what do you like? And I make sure everybody's having a good time. And then there's moments when it's really hot, because I've been thinking about this music that this service today, and I think about a GPS, and sometimes I need to reset and remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. Especially when it's really hot and sweat's dripping in my glasses and someone's being frustrated over here. And so in the GPS system, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you can hit this one little dot and it'll bring you right back to where you are. If you don't know where you are and you can't follow the map, well, where am I anyway? And you can bring yourself right back to the point where you physically are. And I think it kind of is also relative to what was talked about on the recorded service last week. is when we don't know where we are, we have to be in the moment. We come back to the moment where we are. And so that GPS system is really good for helping us figure that out. But the song that I'm going to sing today is by Daniel Nahmod, and it's called Witness. And he talks about this day as a witness to my sacred purpose and all that I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be up here with these folks on the stage playing some music and bringing you into music and opening your heart up so that you're ready to receive the words that are coming out of the speaker. And by the way, if you know any musicians who are interested in joining this, we're looking for some more folks to play. Seriously. But I want you to just consider what you're called to do, and to be reminded on a daily basis that where you are is right where you need to be, and what is the gem, and how can your imagination be sparked in that moment where you are. To walk
Silence in the sound. Can you hear it? Silence in the words. Can you hear it? Silence in the waves. Can you hear it? Silence in the rain. Can you hear the silence of the raindrops? Silence in the lightning. Can you hear it? There is silence in the storm. Can you hear it? Silence in the smoke. Can you hear it? There is silence in the sky. Can you hear it? Silence in the crowd. Can you hear it? Silence in the songs. Can you hear it? Silence in the time. Can you hear it? Silence in us. Can you hear it? Silence is all around us, yet we don't make time for it. We listen to the buzz of busyness. We bathe in the noise of the doing. We soak in the hectic of our days. Now, God is in all of it, make no mistake, but our ability to hear that divine voice is handicapped by the buzz and the noise. We don't hear well when it's hectic. Silence allows us to reconnect with God within, with our higher selves. It lets us hear our own divine voice. Yeah, but Reverend Steph, last week, 2 weeks ago actually, you said I needed to play more, and in case you hadn't noticed, kids are noisy. This isn't an either-or prospect. Yes, we all need to play more. We all need to sign up to get lessons in how to play from our kids. In fact, that sign-up sheet is still back there. Sign up to play more, to learn how to play. But we also all need daily silence. Daily silence. And I realize that for some of you that may be a moment-to-moment prospect. But we all need it. Otherwise, that clear connection to spirit gets muddied. And we get lost. We try to run on human power alone, and that's simply not enough. Human power alone is simply not enough. Think about the conditions of your life right now. And that will tell you about your connection to spirit. Now, maybe it's going pretty good, and if so, yeah, you. And maybe it could be a little better. Maybe it's a little rough right now. And I would say for the vast majority of us, we could all, we wouldn't mind having a little bit better connection to God, a little bit better connection to spirit. And that can be achieved by one of the many ways we've talked about this month. But today we're talking about one of the hardest things to work into our daily lives, and that is silence. Oh, look, we just managed it right there. It can be such an uncomfortable little thing for so many people, silence. It gets really noisy in our heads fast, doesn't it? Now, maybe it doesn't for you here, or, a lot of times you walk into a center for spiritual living, people don't necessarily want to cop to that, and it's okay. But I think that's why our society is so noisy. I really think that's why our society is so noisy. People don't want to hear what's going on in here. They don't want to work through what's going on in here. They want it to be all puppies and roses and sunshine. But God is in here. It's not like we have to go it alone. We've lost this resilience, I think. This courage to sort of, kind of sort out what's happening inside our heads. And part of it is because we're trying to run on human power alone. It's the, I'm spiritual but not religious. Spiritual, sometimes we lose God in it. We get freaked out by that word. I was freaked out by that word for a very long time. And so we lose that connection to spirit or God or whatever we want to call it. We're trying to run on human power alone. We're disconnected from God because we're so disconnected from any kind of silence. We're so busy doing that we have this sort of, this poverty of just being. We don't hear God within anymore. Now here in the U.S., anyway, the Puritan part of us, it says we're lazy when we're not doing. And honestly, I think we're just exhausted. I think we're just exhausted. But if I've learned anything at all during this pandemic, it's that this world refuses to be shut off. It refuses to be quiet. It refuses to be silent, certainly. So what do? What on earth are we going to do? Let's talk about some obvious things that we can do. Okay? What we need is a mental sanctuary. We need a mental sanctuary. Now, maybe this is an actual place that you build in your mind. Okay? A room, an oasis, a meadow, a circle, a beach. I don't know, whatever kind of place would be a mental sanctuary for you. I walk down a flight of steps. I go down a wooded path. I go through a door into a room. I actually have built a mental sanctuary that I go into. Okay? I have a room that I actually go to sometimes. It doesn't have to be that, though. It doesn't have to actually be that. Have any of you ever gone through this exercise where you actually build a mental sanctuary for yourself? I see some. Okay. That's great. That's great. Okay. So it can be a place that you actually go to in your mind, and that may be the easiest thing for you to do, is to actually have a place to go to in your mind. The thing you really need to know about your mental sanctuary, though, is that it elicits a feeling. It elicits a feeling. It's a feeling of peace and ease. Okay, it's a feeling that you're after. Whether you make a place in your mind or not, it's the feeling of peace and ease that you're after. Our mental sanctuary is where we heal. It's where we sit in silence. It's where we work through our pain. It's a place to be. Now, that's not to say that noise may not come there. Noise may come there, because noise is everywhere. It's right here, right now. But it's not a place where noise bothers us. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. Okay, so you built a mental sanctuary for yourself to go to. What's another way to simply be in a noisy world that refuses to be turned off? Meditation, right? That's probably the most obvious one. Maybe the hardest one. Reverend Stephanie, how am I supposed to meditate in a noisy world, in a noisy house, in my noisy head? Do any of you use a mantra? Do you know what a mantra is? It's a word or phrase that you repeat over and over. Pick your language, English, Sanskrit, Hindi. Honestly, any language will do. The easiest one is Om. Om. ask musicians about the importance of the silence between the notes. The silence between the notes. So mantra meditation can lead us into silence. Leads us into silence. It can help us settle into the mental sanctuary. Are you with me right now, or am I talking gibberish? Am I talking about, are we okay? I'm talking about finding the moments of silence amongst the noise. About letting silence lead us to God. Am I okay? Are we okay here? We're jamming, okay. Good deal. Good, I can get thumbs up, okay. Now what about this? What about listening without resistance? Listening without resistance. Don't concentrate against the noise. Don't concentrate against the noise. Let your attention follow the sound, and then you soon lose interest in it. You almost grow numb to it. My desk is in front of this really wonderfully large window that I love to have open. But I'm maybe 20 feet from a really busy road. And the highway is, I'm gonna say maybe 200 feet to my left. So I have a lot of road noise. Motorcyclists like to turn the corner and just gun it. I have cars with no mufflers that roar by. And it used to make me crazy. I mean, I wanted that window open so bad, and I would just throw it closed. It still gets to me every once in a while. But now I really don't hear it much. I've grown numb to it. And when I do hear it now, I let the noise lead me to the silence in between. I let it lead me to the silence in between. There is a marked quiet after the noise. When we listen without resistance, we're creating a foundation and simplicity around noise. Creating foundation and simplicity around noise. Once we've done that, once we've mastered that, and it doesn't take long, we can evolve a little further. Now, sounds are waves, right? So we can learn to let a sound wave pass through us. It can pass through us gently and lead us back into silence. A sound wave can shock us. Sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk and I'm deep in work or I'm deep in meditation and a loud vehicle goes by, I get startled. But rather than become annoyed, I can welcome that. I can welcome that awakening and let it take me into a deeper silence that comes afterwards. Have you ever noticed that? When you hear a really, really loud sound, that there is a very deep silence that comes right after it? Have you ever noticed that? When we listen without resistance, what was once agitating can offer us a moment of peace. I'm offering you all this because we live in a relentlessly noisy world. We live in a relentlessly noisy world. Our heads are noisy and our worlds are noisy. We have to figure out a way to be peaceful in what we have. Let me offer you this quote from Camille Maureen and Lauren Roche, who wrote a wonderful book on meditation. They said, if you resent outside noise, you are making the world wrong for existing and moving. You have set yourself against the movement of life. If you resent outside noise, you are making the world wrong for existing and moving. You have set yourself against the movement of life. It is what it is. Our phones ring, our children scream, cars go by, the neighbors argue, someone's TV is too loud, we replay an argument with our significant other in our head, we worry, we self-doubt, we laugh, we cry, someone's running a leaf blower, the dog is barking. God is in all of it. God is in all of it. Waiting for us to see and hear and know. As humans, we simply, generally, do it best when we're in a moment of silence. And that's not to say that we don't hear God in the laughter of our children or in a myriad of other ways. But to feel that deep peace and connection to the presence, for the majority of us, that happens in silence. In our relentlessly noisy world, we have to seek it. To resent noise or to resist noise is to make the world wrong for existing and moving. We as individuals can choose to be different within it. We can follow the noise into places of silence, into our mental sanctuaries where healing takes place, into the stillness where we can hear the voice of God and stop trying to run solely on human power. God is waiting, infinitely patient. We have but to listen. Will you pray with me? So I just settle into a centered space, this space, where God is, where Spirit is. Here and now. I know that the one is, by whatever name we call it, by whatever way we recognize it, I know that it is here, within me and all around me, here and now. I know that it is present. And I know that it is a blessing. And whether in noise or in silence, I know that it is present. And I know that it is always present. And so I say yes. I say yes to this moment in time, this time of noise, this time of silence, knowing that we are blessed and we are a blessing as this community of beautiful hearts and beautiful minds. And I know that I am blessed. As the senior minister of this community. Just say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Infinite Spirit, for this moment in time. I release this into a law that only knows yes. And so it is.
I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love for all my life. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to your love. I will bear witness to
Thank you so much for your attendance today. I love all of you. I love being your senior minister. How about a benediction and some music? Music. No, I'm not done yet. Richard. We need to recognize Richard because are we going to keep you once a month? I'm putting you on the spot, sir. Because we thought we were going to lose Richard entirely. Our beloved Richard.
Can we give a round of applause for this guy?
Maybe we'll keep him for at least once a month. We are in need of some musicians, so if you feel called or you know someone who feels called to play keys and bass, keep your ears open, keys and bass. But thank you, Richard, for your service. You've been wonderful, and I hope we can keep you at least a little bit, for sure. Okay, how about a benediction and some music? Yes? Yes, okay. I know that God is, I know that we are, and I know that we are awesome. And so it is.
sunshine sky, and there's a reason season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under its loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms